Hey there, guys and gals. This is your host, Joe, Life with Yosef. I'm going to do a little bit of an update today. It's the 5th of January of 2025. It's about 13:35 hours, 1:35 in the afternoon for you regular types. And I'm going to talk about the Hideout. I'm going to talk about the HOA, a little bit about the struggle. And there's some stuff here to chit chat about. So we're going to get to that. Now, I will say, I did this outside yesterday, and it was so crappy. I did some editing inside, and it was still crappy. So I got rid of all of it. And hopefully, I'm not such a maroon today. So we're going to find out. I got notes here just in case I forget something. I'm going to talk about the Hideout first, the new Hideout, and I had the tradies do my chair, my Adirondack chair. You see, I got my cup. I got starting to work on making it a little bit nicer out here for me. You see, I still got the backup chair for when Charlie comes by. Maybe one of you will stop by one day too. You never know. Look at him. Look at my sweet pupper. I know. Look at him. Look at him. Oh, he's wagging his. He loves to be outside. I need to have him out here a lot more, and I'm working on it. Today was a bit of a struggle. I didn't feel well after breakfast. Lied down, and, well, we're outside now. God love him. Freya, show him favor on the hunt, now and in the afterlife. I also got the dryer that was addressed. I think that was more of a challenge than these guys thought it was, because they really had to work it. And the chair here took two of these guys probably 25 minutes to assemble, but it's not like they were busting their ass, working extra fast at it. But there's a lot more to it than I realized, so I'm glad that I had the person I asked just, no, dude, this is more than you think it is. So thank you, that person who I'm not going to out, but I appreciate it. And the two tradies had to work it with power tools and stuff, but it's a fairly comfortable chair. It's not as wide as the one that I left in California, but it'll do. I'm happy with it. What the hell? I also got I got my kitchen faucet replaced because it's one of these one-handled jobs, and the handle wasn't staying off, and I'd hear the water running. It's like, dude, come on now, you can't have this. So I got that replaced too. I still have a bill I need to pay. I have an invoice, so we got the new Hideout pretty much up to snuff here, and I'm pretty happy about that. When I went to pay my HOA for January, because I hadn't gone up with the cancel check and the form yet, or the void check, which I did, so I'm going to have it EFT'd out every month. Now I don't have a single bill that I need to write a check for. Everything is EFT. I resisted all this for a long time, but I had my head up my ass. There's always a risk, but, it's awfully easy. So I got a copy, just a one-sheet copy of the 2024 financial statement. And the golf course, this is out of memory. I think I have the truck somewhere. The golf course lost about $150,000. So that is an improvement of about $40,000. Now, the HOA itself, I want to say it lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it didn't in 2023, and it did in 2024. And the cryptic statement is, well, expenses went up. Well, what kind of expenses? Now, they're holding the monthly dues at $325, and they're going to take the difference in expense and revenue out of the reserves. We still have a lot in reserves. So I don't think the HOA is in financial trouble like a lot of the ones in Florida are. But now when I'm able to get a little bit more detail on the financial statements for 2024, I think I'm going to independently hire a CPA down here or somewhere. I need to know what I need to be looking at. So, interesting things here at the new Hideout. The pre-Christmas that I spent with my brother, OG, and my godchildren was awesome. So shout out for that. The drive back through Parker and Earp, and then the film that I ran, I'm really happy with that. It was a good drive up. I went and got Dude, but as you saw in the film, I didn't drive over Christmas Tree Pass, and I still haven't. So that's definitely on my agenda. But it's not going to be, it wasn't that day, and it's not going to be today, but it's on the list. It's not that far. Probably coming in or going out somewhere. You never know. So, Christmas after that, it was more difficult for me than I imagined. And I don't know why. I don't really like Christmas. When I was 21 and married to the she-devil, it was the best one I ever had. And the next year, I literally, and the only time ever gotten on my knees and begged anybody for anything. I begged her to not divorce me, and she just scoffed at me and, well, went back, went back to the good Christian baby daddy. Well, I could shoot 8 million holes in that argument. And I did go back and live with her, which makes my decision making, my judgment might not always be the best, and I own that. But nevertheless, it's been a rough one. I usually worked. And then one year, the dish and I had it off the first time we were married, and we went to Monterey. We saw Beavis and Butthead Does America and ate Chinese food. It was awesome. And then once we retired, the 2 years that we spent in Texas, we went and got tamales and stuff from Ventura's in Victoria, and we ate Ventura's heated up the next day because they were closed on the 25th. So they were closed on the 24th too. You had to pre-order and prepay, and then you had to go get it. And the dish said, hell, there was a pretty good sized line, and there was a lot of people that got tamales from Ventura's for Christmas. And I'll tell you, I'd love to go back to down that way because I loved it. God, the name is escaping me. I love Ventura's. Oh God, it was good. So Christmas is now the last Christmas, not this last one, but the last one with my wife. We had a tree, and hell, I had her keep the tree up all year, and the Christmas stuff up too. So part of the sourness was me. She hadn't exactly had really stellar ones either, but I was hoping to get the tree up this year, and some days it's a struggle to get out of bed. So I don't know what to tell you, but I'm hoping for next year I'm going to be able to drive up the Christmas tree pass. Actually, I'm thinking about decorating one of the trees. It seems to be a locals gig, and I'm going to do that. So there you go. Now we're going to get on to the next subject, and we'll see what's next. I'm going to postpone both Avalon and the Amtrak ride at least until after Labor Day. And I suspect that one of them is going to be postponed until 2026, maybe both of them. I'm going to have to board Dude. It's going to be 9 or 10 days twice. And I love my dog, but I need to board him for this, and so I'm going to, and that much time and that much money, when you're talking $200+ a night in Avalon, and then the train ride, just the train was going to be over $2,000, and then the night in Emeryville, a night or two in Chicago, and then the parking and stuff, that's starting to get $3,000-$4,000, and I need to be watching my money. So I'm going to, Avalon and Amtrak are both on the back burner or probably taken off the stove. The 19th of January, if you've been watching my content for a while, this may ring a bell, is the anniversary of my late brother Kurt's passing. He was in Africa. He was on safari. Goddamn the wind. I hope this little windsock works. I've talked about him, and probably on the 19th, I'll link to the last video that I made where I kind of tied a couple of the individual scenes together talking about my brother. But I've tried to either be somewhere or go for a day drive. The Dish and I did, and then I did. And so I'm going to do that on the 19th, but there's a problem with the 19th. That's the 19th is a Sunday of the President's Day weekend, or Martin Luther King, I'm sorry. And everybody's got holiday prices. I mean, only the government has holiday, but, you know, God forbid, you know, you don't have a chance to gouge up the prices. So there are some things that I wanted to do that if I have time to talk about it, I'll talk about it in the next scene. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to drive to Williams, Arizona, which is on Interstate 40 on the Mother Road. Anyway, that's the gateway to the south rim of the Grand Canyon. And in a long story short, I looked up the room rates are really inexpensive. I think now's the time to go. If the weather gets bad, I'll just cancel. You know, I've got four-wheel drive. It's not that big of a deal. You know, if the road's icy, I just won't go. But I also need to get reservations at Rising Star, so I need to address that. But I think I'm going to go to Williams, and then I'm going to take the Grand Canyon Railway up to the South Rim. And I had said earlier, or maybe it was just talking to my brother, that I didn't want to do that. I wanted to drive so I could have flexibility in my day. But then I got to thinking, dude, you know, by 1 or 2 o'clock, you're going to be out of steam. And you're going to want to be able to sit somewhere inside with a bathroom, not have to drive back, be able to put your head down on the train, and then, you know, you get in the truck and drive, you know, 90 seconds and you're at the motel. So I think I'm going to do that. Now, the railway has a number of levels of accommodation, from a basic, like a bus bench type deal, to a fancy parlor car. So I'm going to do a little bit more work on that. I am going to board Dude on this. I don't think he'd have a good time. I think he'd be more hassle than he's worth. And you know I love my dog. Well, I looked at the time of how long this was so far, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. This is, as always, your host, Joe, Life with Yosef, a little bit of update. So, enjoy your day. Peace be with you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing to my nonsense. And Dude, the mini poodle of terror, and I will see you for the next one.